They're changing their names.
Well, Walter to Gunther.
Or Pete Dunne.
And Pete. Well, I mean.
And Dewdrop. They changed their names.
Well, no, Dewdrop's still Dewdrop.
Well, before she was
something else, but they should have. Dewdrop, she should change it to something else.
They should.
She just got beat again by Bianca Belair. I mean, they did the same thing, climb up the rope and gave her the whatever they call it. Bianca. And then Becky Lynch came in and stuck a chair around her head and took her hair and ran her into a pole. Ooh. Yeah, that was good. Bianca still looked good. She looked good in blue too. She's looking good, Bianca. Bianca. She's talented, man. So athletic. I don't know about all that blue lipstick, but the blue trunks and everything look good. But I guess her hair is a weapon, so they're like playing off the whole hair thing because they were showing like whip marks or whatever from the hair, like kind of like burns or bruises or something on her, Becky Lynch. But yeah, that's good. But names, I like speculating. I don't know anything. I'm not in the corporate world, nor did I read up on this or look into it. But if they're changing names, it's usually because they want to own the rights to that name. Or
do they feel it's that important that they need a?
It just makes their life easier. They could say, "Hey, when you go somewhere else, if we build you up, we build you under this name, this brand. You can't just take it and go somewhere else with all the money they invested into it, building that name, putting you on TV, getting you over, making you a superstar, and then you say, all right." And they don't want to renew the contract. It's just a corporate thing. It's just a business thing. Total business, probably. Gunther sounds scarier than Walter, I guess, too. I don't know,
Gunther,
maybe.
That's what it's changed, or no?
Yeah. Walter was changed to Gunther, I think. And I don't know what Pete's was changed to. I have no idea.
Butch?
I don't know. But it's just business. Okay. Business, I'm sure it's just business. Because, a lot of things can happen around names. Like the Gangrel name was...
that was yours.
No. Well, no. Like I gave them. I was a vampire warrior before that. I was the Black Hearts, Destruction, Japan, Stampede, Japan, and then like Joe Goodhart's Tri-State Wrestling Alliance and all that, and throughout Florida and places like that. So I had a falling out with my partner. Then I was in a weird spot and ended up going to Puerto Rico. It was just a weird situation. I've explained the story in here before, but became the Vampire Warrior. All right, so then it was Vampire Warrior from 91 to 98. Still did the Black Heart stuff, but I was the Vampire Warrior. And then I was sending in a bunch of research to WWE. I wasn't in WWE. I was working as the Black Phantom there. I worked as the Black Phantom, which is like a spinoff of the Black Hearts. But I kept sending him, and then I went back to All Japan in 98 as David Heath. And then in 98, I still was sending them research on vampire stuff. And I sent them all this research, and one of the names in there, which it's a clan, not a vampire, it's a vampire clan, was Gangrel. So when they decided to do, long story short, when they decided to do everything, they needed a name. And because they called me on a Friday, and I was going to be taping on a Sunday. And they go, hey, we need a name. Well, I believe it was Vince himself looked down, and I think that's probably why he doesn't use it, because this is his mistake. He looked and said, I like the name Gangrel. All right. So I don't know if he thought it was just research or whatever, but Gangrel was at the time a clan, and it was in a role-playing game. And so they rolled with it, and the legal department didn't research it or anything. They just went and aired it. So when that aired on a Sunday or Monday, whenever it came out, that next morning they had a lawsuit for millions or whatever it was, some ridiculous amount, and blah, 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 blah. Major mistake. So then they ended up having to lease the name for 5 years and advertise it in the magazines and whenever it's on the show and stuff like that. So that's been a big thorn in the side. No matter what anybody wants to say, that's just been the problem there. And then WWE just wanted nothing to do with that name after the fact. When that 5 years was up, my deal was up. And then they brought me back. They brought me back to do an anniversary Raw or something, like a Battle Royal. So I came back in and did that. Then next morning again. Boom, lawsuits from a different company that bought that company. So and then went to court, and the judge pretty much, he took the gavel hammered down. So if I ever see this case again in court, everybody's getting in trouble. Like, he just said the person that's wrestling as Gangrel is Gangrel. Because Gangrel was a clan, not a vampire. It was a vampire clan. Mm-hmm. But whatever. I had portrayed the character for all this time. So, but still, you couldn't use it in certain ways. So WWE just kind of like abandoned all your hope on that name. They just like pushed it to the side. And then the other company, whatever, they all defunct. Well, somewhere in the process and everything, there was some things that weren't filed, this and this and that. Well, I ended up getting the rights, the Gangrel, the trademark. It's trademark registered everywhere for sports entertainment, for clothing lines, for action figures, for whatever, hot sauces, beer, like whatever. I have it now. I have the register and trademark and the registry to register to Gangrel. So I think that's just rubs stuff like that just pisses Vince McMahon off personally, and in a corporate sense, it's like, what the flip? So, like, to avoid all that, they're just going to give people their own names. Like, they just messed up on that when they picked it, but they don't want you to come in because if you go, you're Ana Blanca Diaz, I'm Ana Blanca Diaz, AAB, they build you as this thing, and then your contract's up, and they don't kind of want to use you, but they don't want to lose. They don't want you to take what they spent 3 years investing, which is kind of crappy on their part, but it's just business, and go somewhere else and they want you to have to go change your name to Blanca, like all right, so we'll go Brian Daniels to Daniel Bryanson, right? His name was so similar, you can switch it, and I get it mixed up all the time, right? So he was able to flip his name, but other people can't get away with things that easily, and stuff like that when you're, so it's just easier. It's just a business thing for them, like it's just total business, but yeah, that's that.
At least you own your name now, and you don't have to worry about any problems.
I gotta stay on it and keep filing things, but yeah, and there's cool things coming out, like you see the action figures coming out from Cello Toys. I think the pre-orders are in. There's a lot of other things I haven't mentioned that I still don't want to talk about. Some trading cards coming out. Trading cards. There's a video game. Well, that we could talk about, Virtual Basement, but they haven't contacted me yet to shoot my. Where they put the little balls on you and what do you call it?
To like.
Come on, you're a young kid. You know about these video games, you Raymond.
But you're moving.
Yeah, all the movements and stuff, whatever they call it. Motion cap. That's it, motion cap. So that's still got to get done, but I mean they're getting a lot of the other wrestlers done. So I think I'm downloading that game because I chose to not be part of the big main game. I chose to be part of the download.
I remember you told me about
Virtual Basement. So that's coming out, and there's a few other things. There's things I forget about until they contact me back around. I go, oh yeah, like that. But it makes it easier. So like MLW, I'm Gangrel, no questions, no problems, no like that. So they changed my music, and they've if you go in there and you look at MLW and stuff like that, you can see a lot of tweets coming out. Gangrel's coming for blood and stuff like that. So a lot of cool things coming back out. But the music's different. I get used to that. It's got a different hard hitting thing to it. But
why would they change that of all things?
Well, I think because Edge went back. I think WWE probably went back and they didn't have the rights. The Johnson, the guy who did the music originally, and when they let him go and everything, he had the rights to that, and because that's how I was able to use it at the school to advertise the stuff because I bought 30-second clips. I don't know how they could, but WWE must have circled back, and when Edge was doing that, must have got that music or something. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't checked into it. But
so much legal.
But just guessing. So much legal. I'm dizzy now about the follower. I feel like I've been holding my breath for hours talking about this, spinning.
Well, there's just so much legal and business.
So much I don't even understand. So I hate to talk out of turn or out of place because it's just anything, numbers, legal, anything, all that stuff makes me nervous and spinny.